Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN TV studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight the 2-4 Colfax Vikings are looking to bounce back and start the new year on a positive note after being handed a decisive 82-40 loss to the Durand Panthers back on December 16th. Meanwhile, the 4-1 Turtle Lake Lakers are looking to continue on their winning ways after edging past the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 46-44 last Tuesday. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Turtle Lake Lakers and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Noel's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's boys basketball game between the Turtle Lake Lakers and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are looking to bounce back after being thumped 82-40 by the Durand Panthers back on December 16th. Now, in that loss to the Durand Panthers, the Vikings were led in scoring by 5'8" sophomore guard Elijah Ensminger, who hit 6 field goals and a three-pointer for 15 points. He was followed by Nick Jensen and Jack Charlo, who added 9 and 8 points respectively. Thus far on the season, the Vikings are led in scoring by Ensminger, who's averaging 13 points per game. He's followed by Jack Charlo, who's averaging over 11 points per game. Ryan Albright chips in nearly 8 points per game. Lenz and Charlo are the Vikings' leading rebounders, averaging over 9 and nearly 6 boards per game, respectively. Now, the Lakers are coming off a 46-44 win over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves last Tuesday. The leading scorer for the Lakers was 6'2" senior Brendan Stranke, who hit on 5 of 7 field goals, 4 out of 9 three-pointers, and went 5 for 6 from the free throw line for a total of 35 points. Now, he was followed by Joel Humphrey, who added 6 points. Thus far in the season, the Lakers are led by Stranke, who's averaging nearly 23 points per game. He's followed by Blake Till, who's putting up over 9 points per game. Humphrey and Toby Call add another 7 and 6 points, respectively. On the boards, Turtle Lake is led by Stranke, who's pulling down 7 boards per game. Noah Torgerson and Call are each grabbing just around 6 rebounds per game. The Vikings are going to have to find a way to keep Stranke under control. He will score, but they just can't let him dominate like he has in the past. So far this season, the Lakers are averaging 56 points per game. The Viking defense is going to have to come ready to play, as currently they're giving up an average of 63 points per game. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Mark Noel on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV by calling 715-563-1749.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Today on Coach's Corner, we're talking with the Viking boys head coach Mark Knoll. And Coach, back on December 16th, the last time the Vikings played, they ran into a buzzsaw when they took on the Durand Panthers, dropping that game 82-40. Your comments about that one from so long ago?
Believe it or not, I've erased it from my brain. I mean, I remember the stuff I need to remember for learning points, but we've moved on, we've moved forward. But, to give you something from that, we've changed some things that we're doing against the 1-3-1. I think that will hopefully help us in the future when we play these teams that like to play the 1-3-1. Now,
in that game, Elijah Ensminger led the team with 15 points. Can you tell us a little bit about the energy that this young sophomore brings to the game?
Yeah, Elijah has, a great passion for the game. He works on it all year long. He plays, summer AAU basketball. He played in a fall league as well. Basketball's, his passion and his love. And, you can tell that by how hard he plays every possession. And, for an undersized guard at 5'8"-ish, he's out there playing with the big guys, and he's not afraid as a sophomore to take it right at people.
Well, I'll say this much. His energy makes it a lot of fun to watch.
Yes, he plays with great, and the word that we like to use is energy and passion, and he comes with both of them.
Now, today, they're going to need some of that because the Vikings are going to take on the 5-1 Turtle Lake Lakers. What can you tell us about the Lakers?
They're a very disciplined team. Defensively, they like to play a pack line type defense where they're going to play man-to-man, but all 5 guys are going to play inside the three-point line. You're not going to see these guys come outside that three-point line, so they're going to pack, and they're going to also look to, double the ball when they can and make you make quick decisions. We're going to try to space them out as much as we can. I like to play fast. I would love to go in the game thinking that we're going to play slow and slow it down, but I also like to play fast. So it's a tough thing. But they've got one of the better seniors in the area is averaging almost 23 points a game, and I don't want to pronounce his last name wrong. I don't know if it's how do you pronounce it? Mr.
Stranky. You're leading right into the next thing I was going to ask you about. In fact, let's talk about him. They are led by, he's a 6'2" senior, Brendan Stranky, and in their last game, he put up 35 points, with 12 of those coming from outside the three-point line. What do you have to do to keep him in check?
Well, I think the main thing is he really likes to shoot the three. He's a very active player. He's by far their best player. He's kind of their do-it-all type guy where he's going to take and make all their big shots that they need, and the offense is going to go through him. So he's a good passer. He's going to look to set other people up, and we got to find a way to get him off a rhythm, not let him just get any wide open looks where he can get confidence, which is hard to do because, like I said, the ball is going to find him, and we're gonna work really hard to make the game a hard game on him.
Well, it's one of those also where you have to realize he's going to get points, and it's just to make sure that he doesn't dominate the game.
Yeah, if he gets 15 points, 16 points, I think we've done a good job. He's a kid that you want to hold him to that kind of a level because, like you said, he can go off for 35. He's had games in the 40s in the past, so. He's a kid that can put up a lot of points. I'm sure he's already probably Turtle Lake's all-time scorer. If he's not, he's going to be there pretty soon. But he's been starting as a freshman, so he's a 4-year starter for them.
Okay. So coming out of the holidays, Vikings ought to be well rested. Are there any health or injury issues or lineup changes or anything like that we should be aware of?
I think the one that you're going to see probably is Tristan Lenz. Probably won't be playing in this game. He rolled his ankle about a week ago or a little less. And depending on how severe that is how long he'll be out. So based on what I've seen so far, he's probably going to be out for a little period of time, unfortunately.
Okay, well, we wish him well.
We get Nate Hajdukovic back, which I'm excited to have him back in the lineup. And so we gain one, we lose one.
Okay. And before the season's over, everybody ought to be back and rolling, and we'll see what we have then. Well, Coach Noel, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings will be able to get back on the winning track and start the new year on a high note.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all that you do, and I love it, Rick. So go Vikings, and we'll see you. We'll talk to you after the game.
All right.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The Vikings are looking to bounce back from their loss to Durand back before Christmas and get back on the winning track. At the same time, the Lakers are looking to build on their 46-44 win over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. So the stage is set for some exciting boys high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Now, in just a moment, we'll send it over to Colfax High School, where we're getting ready to bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's non-conference boys game between the Colfax Vikings and the Turtle Lake Lakers. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. Kevin, I need that back. No. Kevin!
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Light Colfax Viking basketball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Slayton's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Slayton's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Slayton's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Slayton's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Slayton's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
Lenz with the rebound puts it up and in. Tristan Lenz gets the putback shot.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking boys varsity basketball game.
And it's no good. Rebound taken down and put up and in. Ryan Albright with the rebound.
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
Inside, gives it off to Hoffman. Hoffman feeds underneath. The shot goes up and in by Nathan Hajdukovic.
Yeah, good cut there by Nate.
Well, good evening and welcome to Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, Jeff Gust on the camera tonight, and we're getting ready to bring you some high school basketball action between the Colfax Vikings and the Turtle Lake Lakers. And Dan, you've gone and got the starting lineups for us. Why don't you go through those right away?
Yeah.
If you get them dug out of your papers.
Here's the starter.
Had to wake Dan up from a nap there.
Yeah, here's the starters for Turtle Lake tonight. They're going to go with senior number 3, Toby Call. Senior number 5, Joel Humphrey. Senior number 10, Blake Phil. Senior number 12, Brendan Strenke. And senior number 23, Noah Torgerson. For the Colfax Vikings, they're going to go with senior number 2, Nathan Hajdukovic. Senior number 4, Bryce Sikora. Sophomore number 10, Elijah Ensminger. Junior number 23, Jack Charlo. And senior number 24, Ryan Albrecht.
And that's a couple of changes in the starting lineup for the Vikings tonight. They get Nathan Hajdukovic back, and Tristan Lenz has a bum ankle. He is in uniform tonight and is suited up, is available to play. I saw him getting taped up by the trainer, but they're going to put Hajdukovic out there as part of the starting 5. I'll tell you what, we've been watching some of the warm-ups. Number 12, Brendan Strenke for the Turtle Lake Lakers, put up 35 points in his last game, and we can see why.
Yeah, man, he's a big kid, averaging 22 points a game. It's going to be the number one thing that Colfax defense has to take care of tonight. We'll see if they can take care of that. And then on offense, they have to go inside, try to move that ball, get it on the post. We'll see how Tristan Lenz is doing, but I would guess Nick Jensen will get a lot of the work tonight. So we'll see what happens.
And sorry about not having a picture of the court there. Not exactly sure why that happened, but it's okay.
It's nighttime.
It's still not exactly the way it's supposed to be. It's frozen, I think. And we do have the national anthem being sung by Jordan Johnson and Elena Smith. That's Jordan Johnson and Elena Smith with our national anthem. Now we'll send it right back down to the scorer's table for tonight's starting lineups.
And your Colfax Vikings. Introducing the starters for the Lakers. Number 3, senior Toby Ball. Number 5, senior Joel Humphrey. Number 10, senior Blake Dill. Number 12, senior Brendan Strenke. And number 23, senior
That's the starting lineups. So for the Turtle Lake Lakers, it's Call, Humphrey, Till, Stranke, and Torgerson. And for the Vikings, Hajdukovic, Sikora, Ensminger, Charlo, Albright. Hajdukovic to be jumping center against Toby Call for the Turtle Lake Lakers. Ball goes up. Lakers control the tip. Humphrey with it in the backcourt. Brings it across the timeline. Gets it over to Stranke on the right. Cross-court pass. Down underneath. Back out to Till. Puts up the three, and he hit it. Lake Till with a three-pointer. Puts Turtle Lake on top to start things out.
Turtle Lake goes man-to-man to start out.
And Hajdukovic puts the shot up. It's no good. And we have a whistle.
Says there's a foul on number 2. Nate Hajdukovic. That'll be his first.
And so the Lakers bring it down the floor. Torgerson with it. Gets it back out to Humphrey. Over to Stranke. Stranke out between the circles. Feeds it over to Till on the left. He's high, wide, and left. Now to the left wing. Cross-court pass over to Humphrey on the right side. Gets it underneath to Torgerson. Puts it up and in. 5-0, Lakers on top. And the Vikings have it. Albright with it. Takes it down to the left baseline. Turns around, gets it back out to Charlo. Charlo to Ensminger. Now it's Sikora. Gets it over onto the right side to Ensminger. Ensminger to Sikora. Sikora out to Charlo, puts a shot up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Torgerson, and quickly down the floor come the Lakers. Stranke with a jumper from the elbow, puts it right in. 7-0. Turtle Lake on top. And down the floor come the Vikings. Albright with it, drives into the lane, tries to feed it to the right side, a little high and outside. Turtle Lake has it. Stranke inbounds it to Humphrey. Humphrey across the timeline. He gets it to Torgerson. Down underneath, shot goes up. It's no good, but there's a foul call with the shot.
Should be on 24.
And the foul is on Ryan Albright. His first, second team foul on the Vikings. First shot on the way, no good. Toby Call at the line. His second shot is up. Around and out, no good. Rebound chased down by Torgerson. He gets it out to Till. And then over to Stranke, a long three-pointer, nothing but net, and a timeout by the Vikings. They want to talk it over as they're trailing 10-0, 15:30 left in the first half. And you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380. And we're back here at Colfax High School. Vikings trying to get some things figured out. They're trailing 10-0, and they bring the ball down the floor. Ensminger on the dribble between the circles, takes it to the free throw line, puts the shot up. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Turtle Lake. They quickly come down the floor. They get it to Torgerson in the right corner. It's Humphrey with it. Now the Vikings come away with it. Hajdukovic on the steal. He lays it up, and it goes in. Nathan Hajdukovic puts the Vikings on the board. Down the floor come the Lakers. It's Till with it. Then out to between the circles. Then to Torgerson, back over to Till. Till feeds it underneath the call. Back out to Till. He puts a shot up and in. It's a three-pointer, 13-2. Turtle Lake on top. And Sminger gets it over to Albright. Albright to the free throw line. Gets it to Hajdukovic. Then it goes out to Sikora, and his shot is off the iron, no good. Quickly down the floor comes Turtle Lake. They get it over to the left side to Till, then out to Stranke. His shot is up. It's no good. And down with the rebound is Charlo as the Vikings bring it down the floor. Ensminger on the dribble. Over to Hajdukovic. Back to Ensminger out between the circles. Takes it to the free throw line, drives into the lane, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul. I think it's on Humphrey. It is. First foul on Joel Humphrey. First team foul on Turtle Lake. Vikings inbound it. Hajdukovic turnaround jumper is good. 13-4. 13:40 to go in the first half. Till with it. Feeds it into the lane to Torgerson. Gets it out to the right side. Gets it right back. Tries to go up, and he got hammered. It could be on either one of two, and I think they're going to call it on Charlo. It is. It's his first foul. Third team foul on the Vikings. Torgerson at the line for two. First shot is up. It's good. I've had pancakes that had more rise than that ball did on that free throw. That one too. Pretty flat shots, but hey, they go through. That's what counts. Down the floor comes Ensminger. Takes it around the left side. Back out between the circles over to Hajdukovic from the right elbow. Shot is no good. Rebound taken down by Humphrey. Down the floor he comes. Feeds it over to Call. Then into the lane is Till. He lays it up and in.
Till's got 8.
Vikings have it with Ensminger at the free throw line. He backs out. Feeds it to Hajdukovic at the top of the key. Over to the left side to Albright. Albright to Charlo. Charlo tries the lane, then kicks it out to Hajdukovic, and he hit it. Nathan Hajdukovic. (17-7), Vikings trailing. Torgerson, and he took an extra step. We got a couple players coming in for the Vikings. Jensen coming in, and Tristan Lenz coming in. Ensminger brings it down across the timeline. Feeds it over to the left side to Albright. Takes it to the free throw line. Shot from there is a little bit short. Ball saved inbounds, but right into the hands of Stranke, who feeds it down to Humphrey. They get it out to Till. Three-pointer on the way is no good. Lenz with the rebound. And down the floor come the Vikings. Ensminger tries a three-pointer. It's off. Torgerson brings it down the floor for Turtle Lake. Gets it to Call. Ball gets loose on the floor. Lenz picks it up, brings it down the floor. Feeds it to Hajdukovic. Takes it into the lane. Stops, spins, puts it up. Off the back of the iron. Rebound taken down by Stranke. He gets it to Humphrey. Humphrey feeds it out to the right side. That's Till with it. Puts up the three, and he hit the three-pointer.
Blake Till with 11.
Vikings have it. Albright at the free throw line. Gets it over to Hajdukovic. High, wide, and right. Takes it up between the circles. Feeds it over to the left side to Ensminger. Ensminger to the free throw line. Underneath to Jensen. Back out to Ensminger. Three-pointer on the way. Off the back of the iron. No good. And Jensen saves it. Knocked it off the feet of Torgerson. Nick Jensen with some really good hustle on that baseline play. Saves the ball for the Vikings.
Yeah, Noah Torgerson was.
And we're going to get a timeout on the floor with the score. Turtle Lake 20, Vikings 7. 10:43 to go in the first half. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV and Viking TV.
To your finances, security is just so important. Dairy State Bank's online banking and mobile app offers dozens of new and enhanced real-time alerts. Whether an ATM withdrawal is made or a login to your account failed, you'll instantly know. So now, the technology that makes it easier to manage your money is also making it safer. Visit dairystatebank.com or call to learn more. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings. Vikings to inbound. After that very nice save by Nick Jensen. Inbound pass tipped up in the air. Turtle Lake comes away with it. Torgerson with it. Over to Drew Torgerson. Feeds it over to the right wing. This is Till. Over to Drew. To Toby Call. Call just inside the arc, puts the shot up. It's no good. Jensen with the rebound. Ensminger on the dribble on the left side. Cross-court pass over to Albright. Gives it off to Hajdukovic. Ball gets away from him, but he chases it down, and then the pass to Ensminger. They're going to get called for an over and back. Ensminger zigged, and the ball zagged, and the two failed to meet before it got across the timeline.
Yeah, the play never even got a chance to start. They had something set up, and
Drew Torgerson on the dribble. Feeds it over to the right side to Call. Or not Call, that's Till. Then down to the baseline. Three-pointer goes up, no good. Rebound taken down by Lenz. Down the floor comes Ensminger on the right side. Ensminger still on the dribble. Takes it to the elbow, puts a shot up, no good. Rebound taken down by Torgerson. That's Drew. Down the floor he comes. Feeds it out to Noah. And Till has it. Over to Stranke, high, wide, and right. Back to Till, back to Stranke. Stranke drives the lane, puts a shot up, and it's in. He's got a nice soft touch on that shot.
yeah, they got to find somebody to match up on them.
Ensminger with it, high, wide, and right. Takes it down the right side of the lane. Kicks it out to the left side to Sikora. Sikora out between the circles, trying to set something up to Charlo on the left. Takes it the left side of the lane, kicks it back out to Sikora. Sikora with a three-pointer. He hit it! Bryce Sikora with a three-pointer. 22-10. Till with it, and he feeds it over to Noah Torgerson, to Drew Torgerson. He drives it into the lane, gets it to Noah, lays it up and in. Sikora over to Ensminger. Ensminger takes it to the free throw line, turns around, puts it up, and in! Elijah Ensminger.
His first 2.
Down the floor comes Drew Torgerson. His shot is no good. Vikings get the rebound, but they misconnect on the pass, and Noah Torgerson puts it up. Gets fouled on the way up. Basket's good, and he's going to go to the line for the chance for 3.
Foul should be on 42, Nick Jensen.
But that foul was primarily caused by an errant pass after the rebound. They did a nice job of grabbing the rebound.
You know, that's a couple times for Colfax had the ball. Just bounced too high, got away from him.
Shot goes up, it's no good. Rebound being fought for. Chased down by Charlo. And the Vikings bring it down the floor. Sikora on the dribble. On the right side, gets it to Albright. Albright with a three-pointer on the way. Off the glass and in! He put it right off the square and in the hole. (26-15), Turtle Lake on top. Shot by Stranke is no good. And the Vikings come back down the floor. Sikora with it, feeds it off to the right side to Albright. Out high to Hajdukovic. Puts it up from the free throw line, off the back of the air, no good. Rebound being tipped around. Sikora gets it to Hajdukovic. And we have a whistle on the floor. It's a foul. Hajdukovic was passing it off. Into the lineup for the Vikings comes Austin Swanson.
That's foul on number 12.
That's Brendan Stranke. It's his first personal, second team foul. Sikora inbound for the Vikings. To Albright, three-pointer on the way, no good. Swanson with the rebound. To Hajdukovic. Hajdukovic stops on the right baseline, puts it up, no good. Rebound by the Vikings. Charlo puts it up and in! 26-17, the Vikings have cut it to 9. 6:38 to go in the first half. Till with it, gets it over to Drew Torgerson. Back out to Till, three-pointer on the way, off the air, no good. Rebound by Swanson, we're going to get a foul called.
Yeah, number 20.
Fouls on Brady Peterson of the Lakers.
Good box out by Swanson.
And the Vikings have it. Sikora with it. Gets it over to Albright on the left side. Takes it to the free throw line. Gets it to Hajdukovic on the right. Takes it into the lane. Back out to Albright. Albright back out to Hajdukovic, working the right side. Stops at the free throw line, puts the shot up, it's no good. A rebound, chased down by Till. He comes down the floor at the free throw line, turns into the lane, spins, puts the shot up, and it crawls over the rim and into the hole. Vikings bring it down the floor. Hajdukovic on the left side, takes it into the lane. Feeds it underneath to Swanson. Kicks it back out to Sikora. Sikora puts a shot up and it's in. 28-19.
Sikora's got 5.
Down the floor come the Lakers. Shot goes up and in. That was by Joel Humphrey. Sikora feeds it off to Albright. Albright stops at the free throw line. Out to Hajdukovic, high, wide, and right. Takes it to the free throw lane. Back out to Sikora. Down underneath the Swanson, puts it up, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it back up. It's good, and he draws the harm. Austin Swanson made good on the shot. He's going to go to the line for the third. The foul is on Drew Torgerson. It's his first personal, fourth team foul.
Yeah, Austin Swanson's game's coming around here.
Free throws on the way, off the air, no good. And down the floor comes Call, feeds it off to the right side. They've got it to Till, drives to the lane, kicks it back out to Call on the left, then down into the left corner, three-pointer by Joel Humphrey. 33-21. Vikings have it, high, wide, and right. Albright, his shot got blocked by Stranky. Shot goes up from the left side, is no good. Out of bounds off Turtle Lake. It'll be Viking ball. That was Hajdukovic from that shot on the left.
Got new sub in, number 30, Blake Johnson.
Sikora looking for somewhere to go, gets it out to Hajdukovic between the circles. Takes it over to the right side, gets it to Ensminger. Ensminger to the right elbow, into the lane, kicks it back out, shot goes up, it's no good, and gets battled for and knocked out of bounds. They're going to say it went off of Hajdukovic, but we've got an injured Laker down there on the floor, Toby Call, and having a real tough time getting off the floor. I didn't quite see what happened. Looks like it's a knee.
Didn't either. Knee or ankle?
Trainer is over there quickly to take a look. Turtle Lake with the ball. Coming down the floor is Drew Torgerson. They get it down deep to Humphrey, then out to Stranky. His shot is no good. Swanson with the rebound for the Vikings. Hajdukovic has it on the left side, gets it over to the right side to Ensminger. Ensminger with a fake pump, drives into the lane, puts a shot up, it's no good. Rebound taken down by Turtle Lake. Torgerson with it, that's Drew. Driving down, we got a whistle on the floor. I think we're going to get a foul on Ensminger. And it is a little bit of a blocking action as Torgerson was trying to head down the lane.
That's his first.
That play was legal in hockey.
Right.
Just steering him off the puck, that's all you're doing. Turtle Lake has the ball, Stranky with it. Out between the circles, feeds it into the lane, ball's intercepted, but Turtle Lake gets it right back. Stranky has it, top of the key. To Till. Till from in the lane puts it up off the glass and in.
Blake Till having a good night. 15.
In the first half. Hajdukovic spins, puts it up, it's no good. Rebound taken down by Torgerson. And they like to run. They got it to Stranky, who lays it up and in.
Yeah, Colfax says get back on defense.
Vikings have it on the right side. Sikora with it. Gets it over to Hajdukovic. Jumper from in the lane is no good. Rebound taken down by Turtle Lake. They're also dominating the boards. They do have a height advantage, it looks like. And going in, we're going to get a blocking foul being called on Sikora.
Let's see if they take Hajdukovic out. He's been in since the beginning of the game.
First shot is up. It's good. This is Blake Till at the line. Second shot on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by Jensen. And down the floor come the Vikings. Kyle Irwin on the dribble. Feed it over to Ensminger between the circles. Over to the left side to Albright. Back to Sikora. Drives into the lane, gets it to Jensen from the left baseline. He puts it in. Oh, Nate Footer on the baseline by Nick Jensen.
Yeah, his first two.
38-23, Vikings trailing. Jensen gets the rebound off the shot by Torgerson. That was Drew Torgerson. Vikings quickly back down. Irwin on the dribble. Gets it out to Ensminger, and they're going to say he walked with it. Ball gets inbounded to Stranke in the backcourt. Being covered there by Irwin. Passes him off to Ensminger. Now passes the ball off on the right side. Now they get it out to Drew Torgerson. Shot is no good. Jensen with the rebound, and he got fouled as he was trying to pass it.
It's like number 10, Blake Till.
That's Till's first personal. And down the floor come the Vikings. They feed it off to the right side to Ensminger. Down into the right corner to Sikora. Back out high to Ensminger, and it's too high for him, and it's over the back. Over and back.
Yeah, Colfax has to watch their turnovers.
Ball gets inbounded to Till. Feeds it into the lane, knocked away by Jensen. Ensminger picks it up, brings it down the floor. Feeds it over into the left corner to Albright, back out to Ensminger on the left wing. Ensminger to Sikora. Out to Albright. Drives into the lane, lays it up. It does not go in. Down the floor comes Turtle Lake Stranke on the dribble. Feeds it over to the right side. That's Drew Torgerson. And back to Stranke. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Vikings ball. 34.5 seconds remaining in the first half. Coming up, we'll have Viking halftime with a Viking profile and the Colfax High School report. Down the floor come the Vikings. 28 seconds. Sikora on the dribble, takes it to the right. To Albright. Kicks it out to Irwin. Irwin stops in the lane. Back out. Then to Jensen. To Ensminger. Puts up the three-pointer. He hit the three! Elijah Ensminger with a three-pointer. 4 seconds to go. Three-pointer by Turtle Lake, and they answer right back.
Joel Humphrey at the buzzer for three.
41-26 at halftime. Coming up is Viking halftime, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Time now for Viking Halftime with this week's edition of Viking Profile and the Colfax High School Report. That's all coming up following this brief timeout.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
Viking Profile, we're talking with JC Colby.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the
JC,
Colfax
we know
Viking
that you play
players.
basketball,
And now
but are
Viking
you involved
Profile.
in any other activities here at school?
Cross country.
Cross country. So
Today
you
on
too
Viking
got to run at the
Profile,
state
we're
meet.
talking with Dustin Nigaman. And Dustin, you're a senior here at Colfax, correct?
So when did you start playing
Now,
basketball?
we know
What
you
kind of
play
experiences
basketball, but are there any other
Probably
activities here at
first
school that
grade.
you've been
Yeah,
involved
just
in?
always enjoyed it.
I do varsity bowling.
So what's
Okay,
the most
all right.
important thing that
I don't
you've
think we've
learned
had a
from
varsity bowler
Use your teammates.
get interviewed yet.
They're there for
That's a
reason.
first.
Okay.
Okay. So
well,
when did you start playing
Yep.
basketball, and what kind of an
So
experience
when you're
is
not
that?
playing basketball,
I
or
started
you're not
in
here at
elementary school and I played throughout
what
middle
are some
school,
other things
but
that
this is my first
keep you
year playing in high
interested,
school.
entertained,
Okay, decided to finally come back and do it
running.
again, right?
Yep.
So what's the most
Yep.
important thing that you have learned from playing basketball?
Just that communication is key, and you need to work with
Pie,
everybody.
ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Okay, so when you're not playing basketball, you're not here at
particular
school,
No.
what are some other things
cold
that
and creamy,
keep
right?
you interested or occupied, as if I didn't
Your
know?
favorite color and why?
I like to do a lot of
blue.
hunting and fishing.
I don't know really. I just like the.
And you've been
outdoors
pretty
and stuff.
successful at that.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Now,
have
if you
been.
could have a
Okay,
superpower,
a few
what would
rapid
it
fire
be?
questions for you.
Uh,
Pie,
run
ice cream,
super
cake, or
fast.
cookies?
Ice cream.
Favorite
I
flavor?
Think that would get
Chocolate.
Me a lot of places, so.
All right, that's a good standby.
And
Favorite
with a
color and why?
Superpower, of
Green
course, you
or
have to have a
camouflage.
superhero name
Then
to
it-
go
You know,
with
that
it.
almost does count as a color, doesn't
What
it?
is
Yeah.
JC's
Okay.
superhero name?
If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Falling bogey.
Telekinesis, just because I feel like that'd be really
Now, how
cool.
about your favorite
Just because you like
NBA
to
or
say the name.
WNBA?
Telekinesis, that's a great word. Okay, now if you
Los
have a
Angeles
superpower like that,
Okay.
you're going to
And how about
have
your
to
favorite
have a
collegiate?
superhero name to go with it. So what's
I don't
Dustin's
really have
superhero
one, I
name?
guess.
All right.
Ooh, I don't know.
Probably Wisconsin.
Uh,
All right. All right. We're talking with JC
guy who
Bovey
moves things.
on
Okay.
Viking Profile, and JC,
The cool
what
guy
are
who
your
moves things.
plans
All right.
for after
Favorite
high school?
NBA
You got
team?
plenty of time.
I don't
yet, but
watch
if
much
you're leaning
basketball,
towards
but
anything,
I might have to start doing that.
Go to college.
Okay.
And
So
Beginners,
you probably
okay.
don't have a favorite
How about a
college
shout out
team
to
then
the
either.
family?
No.
We're
my
talking with
parents,
Dustin
thanks for
Nigaman here on
supporting me.
Viking Profile. And Dustin, what are your plans
so when
for
people watch
after high
Viking
school?
games, where are they gonna
Continue
find you on the
schooling
floor?
for something in the
point guard.
outdoors field,
Point
like
guard.
agriculture
All right, really
or
good.
conservation.
We want to thank JC
Okay.
Bovey for
And,
joining us today on
how about a
Viking
shout out to your
Profile.
family?
Coming up next,
I'd
more
like to
Viking
thank my
Halftime.
mom, dad, and siblings
You've
for
been
supporting
listening to
my
Viking
basketball.
Profile. This has been a
Okay,
presentation
super.
of the Northern Light
When
Broadcasting
people
Network.
watch Viking games, where are they going to find Dustin Nigaman on the floor?
Hopefully right on the court, carrying the ball, or on the bench.
Okay. We want to thank Dustin Nigaman for joining us today on Viking Profile. We have more Viking Halftime coming up right after this.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that he's a good person. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, it starts to work itself out.
Time now for the Colfax High School Report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School.
The Colfax Vikings athletics kept a low profile during the holiday break. The only team in action was the Bloomer Colfax Wrestlers. They competed at the Northern Badger Tournament in River Falls on December 29th and 30th. 4 wrestlers placed in the tournament for Bloomer Colfax. Capturing 12th at 220 pounds was Sammy Espinal. Placing 9th at 170 pounds was Ethan Rubenzer. Taking 3rd place at 145 pounds was Luke Blanchard, who defeated David Olson from St. Croix Central on a 3-0 decision. The top finisher for Bloomer Colfax was Bowen Rothbauer, who wrestled to 2nd place at 160 pounds. He was defeated in the championship match by Cole Marco from St. Croix Falls on an 11-3 decision. Prior to the Northern Badger, the wrestlers traveled to Boyceville to take on the Bulldogs on December 16th. The Bulldogs had the upper hand on that day, defeating Bloomer Colfax 54-24. The next day, the 17th, the wrestlers went to Cameron for a multi-duel event where they finished the day with 2 wins and 2 losses. The Cameron Comets defeated Bloomer Colfax 60-22, but then Bloomer Colfax bounced back to defeat Prescott 36-30. The Durand Panthers upended Bloomer Colfax 46-36, and Bloomer Colfax finished the day on a high note by defeating Unity 42-18. Now this week, the Viking basketball teams get back underway with each team having 3 games. The Viking girls travel to Fall Creek on January 3rd. Then they host the Spring Valley Cardinals in Game 2 of a boys-girls doubleheader on Thursday, followed by hosting the Hayward Hurricanes on Saturday. We are carrying all 3 games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. The Viking boys will host the Turtle Lake Lakers on Tuesday. Then on Thursday, they will take on the Augusta Beavers in Game 1 of that boy-girl doubleheader. That will be followed on Friday with the boys traveling to Boyceville to take on the Bulldogs. We will also have those 3 games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Now, coming up next week, the Bloomer Colfax Wrestlers will take on the Stanley Boyd Orioles in a dual meet at Colfax High School on January 11th. Then on Saturday the 15th, the Grapplers travel to Ladysmith for the Ladysmith Invitational. The Viking boys basketball team will have 3 games next week. On Monday the 10th, they will host the Olivastrum Cardinals. On Thursday the 13th, the boys will host the Spring Valley Cardinals. And then on Friday the 14th, they will host the Somerset Spartans. The Viking girls are scheduled for 2 games next week. On Tuesday the 11th, the girls will battle for first place in the Dun St. Croix Conference when they travel to Elk Mound to take on the Mounders. Then on Friday the 14th, the girls will travel to Plum City High School where they will take on the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. We currently plan to carry all 5 Viking basketball games next week on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. In other school news, the annual FFA conference runs this Friday and Saturday, and the Dorian Vocal Music Festival runs from Sunday the 9th through the 11th. And that's what's happening at Colfax High School for the week of January 2nd through the 8th.
You've been tuned to the Colfax High School Report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School. Stay tuned. Coming up next is more Viking halftime and then second half action.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
And we are back here at Colfax High School, and Jeff has to bang on his a little bit too, and there we got it back. Dan, we've got some point leaders here, 41-26, Turtle Lake on top. What do you got there?
Yeah, here's the leader right now for Turtle Lake. Number 10, Blake Taylor has 16. And for Colfax, number 2, Nathan Hajdukovic leads with 7.
Okay, and the Vikings are going to inbound the ball to start the second half. They've got a bit of a hole to climb out of, trailing by 15, 18 minutes to go. Sikora getting ready to inbound to Ensminger, brings it across the timeline. He's out there between the circles, gets it over to Hajdukovic, high, wide, and right. Out to Albright. Albright at the top of the key. And we have a whistle and a travel call. Albright took a little extra hop step there. So Turtle Lake inbounds it. Humphrey on the dribble. Takes it across the timeline. Feeds it over to Till on the left side. Feeds it into the lane. Shot goes up and in by Noah Torgerson. 43-26. Ensminger has it on the left. Cross-court pass to Sikora. Feeds it into the lane. Ball's loose on the floor. Hajdukovic picks it up and puts it in. 43-28. Humphrey with it. High, wide, and right. Cross court over to Till. He's at the free throw line. Now on the left side of the lane. Back to Humphrey at the top of the key. Takes it down the left side of the lane. We got a whistle, and he carried the ball. Vikings inbound, and Sminger with it. Feeding it over to the right wing to Hajdukovic. Back out high to Ensminger. Takes it between the circles to Hajdukovic to the free throw line. Spins again. Gets it out to Ensminger on the left. He goes to the free throw line. From the left elbow, shot is up, no good. Rebound taken down by Drew Torgerson, and down the floor comes Turtle Lake. They get it over to Humphrey on the right. Back out high to Till. Till takes it down the lane, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Sikora. Down the floor come the Vikings, and Sminger with it. Drives, puts it up, no good. Charlo with it. Tries to go up with it. Couldn't get the ball up. Got stripped from him as he was going up, and Turtle Lake comes down with it. Till with it. Feeds it out high to Humphrey, back to Till. Tries the right baseline. Feeds it out high. That was Drew Torgerson. We're going to get a foul underneath on the floor.
They got Charlo, who doesn't even know what happened. Oh.
No.
Well,
no, the foul is on Noah Torgerson.
Oh, okay.
Of Turtle Lake. Charlo, they both wear 23. That's what confused Charlo. So it's Albright with it for the Vikings. Gets it to Ensminger on the right side. Over to the left side to Sikora. Puts up the three. No good. Rebound taken down by Turtle Lake. Down the floor comes Humphrey. Gets it over to Till in the right corner. Back out high to Noah Torgerson. Ball got knocked loose. Torgerson gets it back, lays it up and in. 45-28.
Torgerson with 12.
Vikings trailing. Hajdukovic spins from just inside the free throw line and drains it. 45-30. 14:39 remaining. Drew Torgerson with it. Gets it to Stranke. Being covered by Hajdukovic. Stranke on the right. Gets it back out to Drew. Back over to Stranke. Stranke at the top of the key. We have a whistle, and this time we have a foul on Charlo.
Yeah, I think this is a better matchup with Brendan Stranke.
Of course, as soon as they say that, they take Charlo out, put Jensen in.
Yeah, I think Hajdukovic is a little faster than Charlo.
So Till on the dribble, takes it down the right side of the lane, kicks it out to Humphrey. Humphrey takes it into the lane, lays it up and in. 47-30. Ensminger on the dribble, down the left side of the lane. Tries to feed it underneath to Jensen, and Ensminger went to the floor hard, gets up a little gingerly. And we're going to get a substitute. Irwin coming in for Ensminger. Down the floor come the Lakers. They get it over to the right side to Noah Torgerson. Down into the right corner to Stranke. Turns around, lays it up and in. Brendan Stranke.
Yeah, see, that wasn't a good matchup with Nick Jensen.
So the Vikings have it on the left side. Sikora with it. Gets it out to Hajdukovic. Over to Albright. Albright feeds it out to Irwin. Takes it to the lane. Turns around. Kicks it out. And then Irwin puts up the three. No good. Down the floor comes Turtle Lake. Drew Torgerson over to Noah Torgerson. Takes it down the right baseline. Lays it up and in. That's 14 points for Noah Torgerson tonight. Irwin with it on the dribble on the right side. Gets it over to Albright. Shot comes up a little bit short and out of bounds.
Seeing a little team fatigue right now for Colfax. What do we say? Probably roughly 3 weeks since they had their last game?
Right. So Turtle Lake inbounds. Whereas the Lakers played just about a week ago. Noah Torgerson on the right side. They get it out high to Humphrey. He's out between the circles, directing traffic. Over to the left side to Drew Torgerson. Into the left corner to Till. Drives to the lane, puts it up. No good. Whistle and a foul. I think it's going to be on Hajdukovic. Nope. I am mistaken.
Sikora.
That's the second foul on Sikora. First shot up by Till is good. Into the lineup is Mitch Medine for the Vikings. Second shot on the way. It's also good. And Sminger on the dribble across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side or to the left side to Medine. Medine takes it to the free throw line. Gets it out to the right side to Irwin. Irwin puts up a three. No good. Jensen with the rebound. Gets it out to Ensminger. Ensminger thought about the three. Wants Jensen to come out high. Takes it to the free throw line. Puts up the shot. It's no good. Rebound taken down by Drew Torgerson. To Humphrey. Humphrey at the right elbow. Feeds it across underneath to Noah Torgerson. They get it out to Drew. Then to Till. Then down into the right corner to Humphrey. Humphrey drives to the lane. Tries to get it back out. And we're going to get an over and back. This time it's on Turtle Lake. Medine to inbound it to Ensminger. Ensminger feeds it off to the right side to Irwin. Irwin takes it down into the corner, drives the right baseline, gets it out to Jensen. Jensen with a three-pointer, it's no good. Rebound taken down by Drew Torgerson, feeds it underneath. That's to Peterson. They get it back out to Drew Torgerson. He's at the top of the key, now drives the lane. Gets it to Peterson on the right side. Shot's no good. Irwin with the rebound. Down the floor comes Medine for the Vikings. Out to Ensminger. Back to Medine. Takes it down to the left corner. Now out to Hajdukovic. Takes it to the free throw line. Gets it over to the right side. Ensminger on the way. No good. Rebound taken down by Drew Torgerson. He's covered there. And we're going to get foul being called on Ensminger.
That's his.
Kind of gave Drew Torgerson a little belly bump to the out of bounds.
Just to let him know he's there.
So Turtle Lake brings the ball across the timeline. Drew Torgerson on the dribble. Takes it over to the right side. Back out high to Stranke. Stranke drives down the left side of the lane, lays it up and in. Stranke doesn't miss very often.
Yeah, that's the matchup that Colfax probably don't really want right now, but Hajdukovic need a little rest.
Medine with it. He gets it knocked away as he tried to pass it over into the corner, and Turtle Lake comes away with it. Torgerson gets it over to Stranke. Shot goes up, no good. Stranke gets the rebound, puts it back up. He drew the foul. So he'll go to the line for 2.
It's going to be Charlo's third. Oh, it's not.
Nope, falls on Irwin. Kyle Irwin. First personal. First shot by Stranke is good. Irwin and Jensen check out. Albright and Swanson check in for the Vikings. Stranke's second shot is on the way. Rattles around, goes down. Medine brings it down the floor, 57-30. Charlo to Albright. Over to Medine. Medine with a three-pointer. It's way short. Ball taken away by Peterson, and down the floor comes Drew Torgerson. At the top of the key, drives on the right side of the lane, kicks it out to Till. Over to Peterson. Directing traffic now is Stranke, out between the circles. Drew Torgerson on the left. Back to Stranke between the circles. Stranke drives down the left side of the lane, lays it up. It does not go in. Rebound knocked out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. Last touch by Peterson.
Yeah, Colfax has to figure out a matchup with Stranke right now.
Humphrey and Noah Torgerson back into the lineup for Turtle Lake. Ensminger brings it down the floor for the Vikings. Takes it down the left side. Into the lane. Spins. Puts it up. It rattles around. It does not go down. Elijah Ensminger having a tough time getting to those to fall. Three-pointer on the way from Till is no good. Chases down his own long rebound. Humphrey with it. Gets it over to Noah Torgerson. Drives into the lane. Puts a shot up, and there's a foul. And the foul is going to be on Mitch Medine. First personal, 15 foul. Noah Torgerson at the line. Shot goes up and crawls over the rim to go in. Hajdukovic back in for the Vikings, giving Ensminger a break. Second shot off the back of the iron. Rebound tipped out to the Lakers. Till with it on the dribble on the left side. Takes it into the lane. Gets it out to the right side to Humphrey. Back out Heides to Noah Torgerson. To Peterson on the right. Pass out to, that's Walter Till. Now they get it to Till, and we have
offensive foul. Number 20.
That's Brady Peterson with the offensive foul. It's his second personal. Second team foul on the Lakers. Hajdukovic on the right. They swing it around to the left side now. Charlo with it. Back out to Hajdukovic. Over to Medine to Charlo on the baseline. Tries to go up with it. Ball got knocked loose. Walter Till comes up with it. And now down the floor they come with Torgerson on the dribble. Now they get it to Blake Till. Puts the shot up. It's no good. Swanson with the rebound. Charlo on the dribble. Takes it straight into the lane. Kicks it out to the outside. And we're going to get an offensive foul called on Charlo.
Yeah, I think Charlo's a little frustrated right now.
That's his third personal. It's the sixth foul on the Vikings, so that means that Turtle Lake will be in the bonus from here on out. 7:26 to go. Walter Till gets it out to Blake Till. They get it underneath to Noah Torgerson. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound. Chased down by Peterson. Get it over to Till. That's Blake. He lays it up. He got fouled on the way up. I think this one might be on Charlo also. No, it's not. It's on Hajdukovic. First shot is up and in. Colton Hoffman in for the Vikings. Second shot is good. 60-30, and we have a substitution for Turtle Lake. Drew Torgerson.
Till's got 20. I'm getting all wild over here.
Yeah, I don't know what you're throwing around over there, Dan. Vikings have it. Hoffman with it. Gets it over to the right side. Hajdukovic on the dribble. Puts it up, no good. Rebound taken down by Drew Torgerson. Stops at the free throw line. Gets it out to Noah. Over onto the left side. Humphrey out to Noah Torgerson, to Drew Torgerson. Feed it underneath to Humphrey. His shot got blocked that time. Shot by Peterson is no good. Rebound. Cleared by Turtle Lake. Noah Torgerson with a three-pointer, no good. And he gets the rebound, passing it off to Walter Till, and he put it in, and we're going to get a timeout called by Turtle Lake. 62-30, Vikings trailing. You're watching Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
And we're back at Colfax High School. Vikings have a pretty deep hole. 62-30. Vikings trailing. 6:07 to go. Vikings with the ball on the dribble. We get a whistle. Blake Johnson was on the dribble. We get a foul called. And that foul's on Noah Torgerson. It's his third team foul on Turtle Lake. Long pass, almost intercepted. Vikings chase it down. Hajdukovic with it. A little bit of a collision, but the Vikings maintain. Medine with it. He gets it over to Hoffman. Out to Hajdukovic. From the free throw line, puts it up. It won't go down for him. Hoffman with the rebound. Tries to find somewhere to go. Ball's loose on the floor. We have a whistle. And they're calling a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of Turtle Lake. And the coach is very upset.
Yeah, I could see that. The ball was still loose, and number 20, Brady Peterson, jumped on the pile to get the jump ball.
At any rate, Turtle Lake has the ball coming down the floor. Humphrey with it on the right side, gets it out to Drew Torgerson. Feed it over to the left side, back out high. Over to the right side, Humphrey to Drew Torgerson from the top of the key, no good. Rebound by Peterson, and we have a whistle.
Was that travel?
I think they said travel. I couldn't tell if it was a travel or if he'd stepped on the baseline.
Jeff over
And
there.
Jeff is over there saying he saw the official make the travel symbol. We'll believe you, Jeff. Vikings have it. Hajdukovic on the dribble between the circles. Gets it over to the right side to Johnson. Long shot up is no good. Rebound. Swanson tries to get it, can't. They feed it down the floor to Humphrey. Humphrey takes it into the lane, turns around, brings it back out between the circles. Getting things set up. Turtle Lake becoming very deliberate. 4:40 to go. Humphrey has it at the top of the key. Over to Walter Till. Underneath, and Noah Torgerson lays it up and in. 64-30. Vikings trailing. Johnson gets it over to Hajdukovic, whose shot is no good. Drew Torgerson with it to Walter Till. Back to Drew at the top of the key. He's on the dribble. Over to Humphrey on the left. Back out to Drew. To Walter on the right. Underneath to Peterson. Peterson turns, puts it up. Shot's blocked, and they're going to get a blocking foul called on Swanson. Check that. It was not on Swanson. Colton Hoffman. Shot goes up as no good by Peterson. Into the lineup for the Turtle Lake Lakers is John Siebenthal. Second shot by Peterson on the way off the back of the iron. Swanson with the rebound, gets it to Medine. Medine down the floor quickly, gets it to Johnson. Tries the baseline pass. It was tipped by Turtle Lake. It'll be Viking ball. Hajdukovic to inbound for the Vikings. Gets it into Hoffman. Out to Johnson between the circles. To Hajdukovic. Feeds it over to the left side to Medine. Out to Johnson. Johnson spins. Gets it to Hoffman. To Hajdukovic. To Swanson. Tries a baseline move, puts it up, no good. Rebound by Turtle Lake. And the Lakers have it. That's Walter Till, feeds it into the lane to Humphrey. Shot is no good. Johnson with the rebound for the Vikings. Takes it to the lane, spins, puts it up, no good. Rebound being chased down. And they're going to say Swanson's foot landed out of bounds before he got rid of the ball. Good hustle, though, that time by Austin Swanson.
Yeah, he's still playing hard.
He went skidding across the floor. But before he could get rid of it, his foot landed out of bounds. Turtle Lake with it. Drew Torgerson over to Humphrey. To Walter Till, three-pointer on the way. He hit the three-pointer.
He's got 5.
Three-pointer for the Vikings is good by Kyle Irwin. 67-33. Turtle Lake with the ball. They get it over to the right side to Humphrey. Back out high to Drew Torgerson. Back over to Humphrey. Back out to Torgerson. Over to Till. Three-pointer again is no good. Ball went out of bounds off of Siebenthal. And so the Vikings will have it. Medine brings it down the floor with 1:55 to go. Irwin with it, high, wide, and right. Tries to feed into the lane, ball gets knocked away. Turtle Lake likes to pack that lane with a lot of maroon-clad bodies. Vikings steal the ball away. Irwin with some good hustle. Down the floor come the Vikings. Irwin outside the three-point arc, takes it into the lane. Feeds it over to Hoffman. His shot is no good. We got a whistle and a foul underneath.
Is that on 20?
That's on Brady Peterson. He's kind of like a bull in a china shop, isn't he? Inbound pass to Irwin. Spins, puts it up from the right side, is no good. Rebound taken down. This is Drew Torgerson. Down the left side of the lane. Ball got picked out of his pocket by Irwin. Irwin looking for somewhere to go. Gets it out to Johnson. Johnson in the lane puts a shot up. Rims around. No good. 54 seconds remaining. Down the floor comes Turtle Lake. Humphrey with it. Feeds it underneath. Till with the shot. It's good. 69-33. Vikings coming down the floor. We have a whistle on the floor.
Brady Peterson.
Another foul on Peterson. 36 seconds to go. Long pass gets intercepted by Turtle Lake. Humphrey with it. 30 seconds remaining. He's got it high, wide, and left, just on the dribble. Irwin steps out to challenge him a little bit. 20 seconds. To Siebenthal. Out to Peterson. Under 10. And that's going to do it. Final score, Turtle Lake 69 and the Vikings 33. This is a good example of the Vikings running into a team that's just physically bigger than they were.
Yeah, they got it. Turtle Lake got inside, got some good points. And, maybe there was a little fatigue on the Colfax in the second half.
Well, we'll talk about that in Viking postgame, and that'll be coming up in just a couple minutes. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
These days, when you're hankering for something that's delicious and nutritious, simply stop by FitFam Nutrition in Colfax. They serve Herbalife meal replacement shakes, metabolism-boosting teas, and protein coffees. They taste as good as they sound, and they're healthy. Come and visit the Bentons and let them prepare for you a simply sweet treat, or something for the chocoholic or coffee lover in you. FitFem is a slam dunk. That's FitFem Nutrition, complete with one-on-one wellness coaching and business opportunities. 1020 University Avenue in Colfax.
When it comes to your finances, security is just so important. Dairy State Bank's online banking and mobile app offers dozens of new and enhanced real-time alerts. Whether an ATM withdrawal is made or a login to your account failed, you'll instantly know. So now, the technology that makes it easier to manage your money is also making it safer. Visit dairystatebank.com or call to learn more. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Your life. Pleasant Valley Properties provides affordable housing and homes in communities in Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. They have staff available to help you locate the home that best meets your needs and desires, as well as service staff that maintains the properties. Contact Pleasant Valley Properties at 715-226-6200. Call today and let them help you get into the home of your dreams. That's Pleasant Valley Properties, 301 Bremer Avenue in Colfax.
When you've checked that hayfield and find it's time to harvest, give a call to Aaron's Custom Baling. Aaron will provide you with 4x5 net-wrapped round bales. He can even give you bales that spruced up look with select custom netting if you'd like. Serving Western Wisconsin, that's Aaron's Custom Baling. Call 715-202-0118.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. Alright, let's go.
Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Boys Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
Time now for Viking Post Game, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. And now, Viking Post Game.
And we're back out here at Colfax High School. We have Coach Prince with us tonight, and that was a tough one.
Yeah. We knew the number 10 and 12, Stranky and Phil, I think is the other, that number 10.
Till and
Till,
Stranky, yeah.
Yes, and we knew they were going to be their scores, but and they were, what we expected, and then that number 5, is it Humphrey, I think?
Yes.
Humphrey, yeah, he kind of came out of the blue, and he scored for
well,
him. That was big.
And he played very much like a point guard out there, directing a lot of traffic and then taking it on his own, and they were physically just solid players.
Yeah, they were all pretty well built, and I think offensively they attacked us where we were weak, and that was straight, just drive right to the basket. Once they figured that out right away, they never really went away from it, and they were all, like you said, physical, and they played physical, and
well, even Coach Noel made the comment in the coach's corner in the pregame that they like to pack the lane, and you could sure see the Vikings couldn't penetrate without maroon-colored jersey getting a hand on the ball.
Yeah, and a lot of times we settled for that, pull-up, 15-foot jump shot, and sometimes that's a move that you work on in practice, but when it's starting to not fall, you almost gotta go to something else. We can get that shot anytime, And I understand if you make it one or two of them, but then that's different. But you.
And I haven't seen anybody with as rotten luck on his shots as Elijah Ensminger had tonight. He put up some good-looking shots that just found every part of the rim they could and just wouldn't go down in.
Yep, and that's his shot, and I think he's. As far as the pull-up jumper on our team, he's got the best one probably, and so maybe it was just one of those nights it just didn't fall.
So how do you get a team to put this behind them and get ready for Thursday?
I guess you got to look at it one game at a time. You can't look ahead and you can't look back, because what's in the present what's in the future is in the future, and what's in the past is in the past. And, you gotta look at what's right in front of you.
Well, let's put it this way: that 69-33 score, that's already ancient history. They've got it wiped off the scoreboard, and so it doesn't exist for us anymore. We'll take a look at Thursday, and good luck on that one.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
And thank you. We'll have more Viking postgame coming up right after this timeout.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV by calling 715-563-1749.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, even though we don't have a picture. There we go. We now have a picture, and we also have Dan with some scoring totals. Dan, what do you have?
Yeah, here's the scores for Turtle Lake tonight. They were led by number 10, Blake Thill, with 20 points, followed by number 23 with 17. We had number 12, Brendan Stranke, with 15. We had Joe Humphrey with 10, and we had number 11, Walter Thill, with 7. For the Colfax Vikings, they were led by number 2, Nathan Hajdukovic, with 11, followed by Bryce Sisakora and Elijah Ensminger with 5 points. And then we had Kyle Irwin, Ryan Albrecht with 3. And then we had Jack Charlo, Nick Jensen, and Austin Swanson with 2. 69-33.
Okay, and in the pregame show, in Coach's Corner, when I was talking with Coach Noel about how to deal with Stranke, he said, yeah, he's going to get his points, and if we hold him to 13, 15 points, we're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what they did. They just didn't have any room for guys like Till and Humphrey to come through there and put up the points they did.
Yeah, that's a sign of a good team when your guys that you don't really expect to step up. And that's what Turtle Lake needed tonight.
And that's what they got tonight. They had a pretty good performance by right up and down the roster, and the Vikings in the second half couldn't buy a shot, and the results were accordingly. Although, I see Austin Swanson come out on the floor. I was pretty impressed with the hustle and aggressiveness that he played with tonight.
Yeah, Austin's a big, tall kid, can handle himself down in the paint, and he's got a good future.
Good defensive player. Needs to work on that shot a little bit. He missed a couple bunnies, but you know what? Everybody was missing tonight a lot of shots, and so.
Yeah, I think Colfax only had, 2 or 4 points in the second half. Turtle Lake did a good job of shutting them down. And I noticed that Colfax kind of lost their legs. Nathan Hajdukovic started out hot, got kind of, I don't know if he'd really say they got played too much, but he kind of lost his legs there towards the end of the first half and definitely in the second half, and Colfax just couldn't find an answer.
So we've got some basketball coming up on Thursday. Hey, we've got a pretty cool thing coming up on Thursday. We have another one of those boys-girls doubleheaders. So we would like you to join NLWN TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Viking TV on Thursday, as the Viking boys will make up their game against the Augusta Beavers that was postponed back before Christmas due to COVID. Now this game will be one of a boy-girl doubleheader, and live coverage will begin with Viking pregame beginning at 5:25 p.m. And that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Viking boys basketball on Thursday, and then right after that, we'll have the girls on Thursday as they're going to host the Spring Valley Cardinals. This is game 2 of that boy-girl doubleheader. And live coverage with Viking pregame, it's going to get started somewhere right around 6:55, and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. That's Colfax girls basketball Thursday night on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Hey, don't forget that the Bloomer Colfax wrestling team will be in action next Tuesday, January 11th, when they host the Stanley Boyd Cardinals, or that's the Orioles, Stanley Boyd Orioles, in a dual meet right here at Colfax High School. And so what we want you to do is come here, watch that, but bring your phones with you and watch the girls take on Elk Mound at the same time on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
A lot going on.
There is. It's that time of year. A lot of sports things going on. Hey, don't forget that tonight's Colfax High School basketball game is brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital, Dairy State Bank, Anderson Bridges, Slayton's Technology, Pleasant Valley Properties, Aaron's Custom Baling, FitFam Nutrition of Colfax, and Kyle's Buff and Shine. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. So for Dan Petchow, Jeff Gust on the camera, this is Rick Olson. Final score once again, Turtle Lake Lakers 69, Vikings 33. You've been tuned to Viking basketball and Viking postgame right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking boys game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.